I was when I first started doing reactions, but it's been 5 years now, so I can talk to the camera pretty comfortably. But this is a whole new comfort zone for me, or I should say uncomfort zone. I don't know if that's a real thing, but in the gym with the camera is new to me. So I'm documenting this because I want you guys to see it firsthand, that it's a process. This is a muscle that we continuously have to flex, whether it's literally sitting in your room with no one talking to the camera, whether it's going out in public, which I've gotten a bit more comfortable with. But for whatever reason, my insecurities around bringing it to the gym is higher than most environments. I don't know why. Again, I think it's the image that maybe I have when I see people at the gym. And so I'm learning a lot about myself, right? Does that mean but there are areas in your life that you are not happy with, or you know you could be doing more, doing better. Those are the areas that you need to force yourself to do shit that you're not comfortable doing. It's just bottom line. Bottom line. So, and I think about all my successes have come from stepping out of my comfort zone. Like, all my successes have come from doing things that originally I wasn't comfortable doing. For example, YouTube. For example, I moved out to Austin, Texas on my own, $40,000 in debt, but created a life I love here. Taking jobs I didn't. When you start a job, like, I didn't know all the stuff I needed to do that job correctly, but I learned it. Going to the gym, literally the definition of how you build muscles, putting your muscles through uncomfortable situations. Researching a whole bunch of really interesting topics with science, fitness, nutrition, and the conclusions that he's loosely coming to in this book, I'm about halfway through right now, are that humans evolved in a state where they were under some level of pressure or duress, stress even in some cases if you want to think of it, and that those types of stressors have a lot of positive impact when delivered in a way that's in line with how our biology evolved. What's really important is that our natural environment that we're in now, where we are commonly, AC controlled, basically feeding whenever we want to get food, that is specifically causing some level of dysfunction. And so by kind of giving yourself the opportunity to be uncomfortable, maybe you don't necessarily be right.
Ain't for free, cause when I'm not in life, I'm only focused on me. Know the self, know yourself, focus on your health. They don't wanna help you, fucking do it by yourself.
The one thing I'm gonna try to work on in all of my workouts, all my sets, is going to failure. Like, I'm following this program, sure, and it tells me do 5 sets. And it tells me the weight, right? If I can do more than that, I'm gonna do more than that. And that's kind of what I want this, like, capturing this on camera to be. I'm saying this now so that y'all hold me accountable. If you see me do a
This is literally called Akatsuki. This playlist has bangers.
You can YouTube or Google, you can find, there are hundreds and thousands of frickin', YouTubers out there who have what they think is a good way of journaling. I'm gonna share what I do, but I think that there are hundreds and hundreds of ways that can work for you. And I think everyone is different, but I think the process of journaling, that's the point. But I will share in specific what I have found through the years that helped me with journaling and helped me get off on a good start every day. Okay, so before I dive into that, one quick just caveat. You might notice, and probably from the thumbnail, I actually use an iPad. So this is a new thing. I've only been doing this for the last couple months, but I love it, and I don't think I'm gonna go back. Reason being, I have tons of filled up journals, actual journals. Journals like these, like physical journals that I also love. However, gratitude, so listing things that you are grateful for, and 2, affirmations. I'll show you what my current prompt looks like, but if I can suggest that you start anywhere, start with those 2 things. It can take 5 minutes of your time daily, and through doing it over and over and over, I'm willing to bet that your life will improve. It may not be immediately, but you will look back and you will see the improvements over time, your mood, your energy. It's somewhat of a subconscious change, and I think, again, when you take a step back 6 months down the road, I think you'll see more of the impact, but you could also start seeing the impact as soon as today. So for anyone who has never journaled before and has been hesitant, or it feels like homework, or it feels like too much, let me just suggest try this. Just try this better. It really is, because I want you to be able to envision where your future's going. But either way, I put in daily affirmations the life that I am trying to project, right? So for me, one of the things that I put, and I'm just going to be honest with you guys, I always write, I am a famous YouTuber who impacts millions of people's lives every day. That is something that I write almost every day. And for me, it's like, I don't know when I'm going to get there, right? It could be 10 years from now. And famous is subjective, right? Like, what does that mean? I don't fucking know. But in my mind, what it means is I am known for positively impacting millions of people every day. And so by putting that out there, by thinking about that, pairing that with what I'm grateful for, already my day is like, yes, I have roadblocks, yes, I have shit I have to deal with, but I see my future. I put my future down on paper. It makes you think about your future, and I'm also putting down on paper what I'm grateful for, and affirmations, I am statements. And think about this as, who do you want to become? Who are you becoming? Envision your life. What does that life look like? Put it down on paper. The why this is so impactful is, even when life is throwing so much shit at you, by starting your day off on this note, it's going to help. It is. You can't really measure it. You can't. There's not a way for me to tell you this is how I know, or this is how you can test whether it's working. But it will. It will, and it's going to help you here, which is the most important place. Here. So, okay. That is kind of the bulk of the video as to why I journal and why I suggest you journal. But for those of you that are interested in what my prompt looks like, this is advice or techniques or whatever you want to call it. I do get asked about my tattoos, but I'm not really going to dive into that in this video. But basically what I want this video to be about is the things that I feel have had the biggest impact on my life in terms of how I feel about myself and how I look. It all ties into my confidence, my self-confidence, my self-love. It all kind of builds up to that, but I'm going to try to basically give, if I was talking to myself 10 years ago, in my early 20s, this is what I wish I would have known back then, and what I would have started focusing on back then. So, I've already mentioned confidence. Confidence and mentality is, 100% the most important thing out of anything anyone's ever going to tell you when it comes to looks, when it comes to glowing. Crazy routine, like I said. So I start, after washing my face, I start with a moisturizing balancer. And I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys. I don't know what a lot of these things do. I can make guesses, but I just do what my girl tells me to do, and I trust her, and it's been working. And my face and my skin looks better now, literally, than it did when I was 10 years younger. So it's working. Alright, so I start with this. So, a balancer. Following the balancer, I use a vitamin C serum. So this says powerful strength line reducing concentrate, but it's a vitamin C with hyaluronic acid. I was about to say hydraulic acid. I would have done is I would have started taking care of my skin way sooner. I didn't start doing all this stuff until about 2, maybe 3 years ago. And I started off small. I started off with those 3 things that I mentioned, right? Get a good face wash, get a good moisturizer, and get a good sunblock. And then you can kind of step up and there's more things that you can start adding, like this stuff. You can start using a retinol cream, which helps kind of balance out everything in your face. There's a lot to it. It's pretty complex. I wish it was a bit simple, more easy, but it is what it is. All right. Okay. So aside from face and taking care of my skincare, face care, the next thing that I think is super, super important is taking care of your actual hair and facial hair. Then, facial hair. I didn't start taking care of my facial hair super serious until maybe like 5 years ago. So what I did is I invested in some trimmers and a T-liner. So basically with these 2 things, I'm able to line my mustache up, line my goatee up, fade it, basically whenever I want. I do it about every other day, and then I will also sometimes use these to just shave the hair on my face. Other times I'll use a razor. But either way, you guys, combine the first 2 steps just to recap. Take care of your skin, take care of your facial hair, take care of the hair on your head. And, I know genetically some people you might not have great hair. That's okay too. You gotta work with what you got, okay? A lot of it can't be, you don't get to choose a lot of things. I wish I was tall, okay? I'm 6'4", but I wish I was 6'6". Some things you just...